Hey guys, this is Shen and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm here with Moon today.
Hi.
Before I start, I have a little announcement. As I have reached 500 subscribers, so as a thank you, I'm doing a little giveaway. Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out how you can win. Today's case is about Black Dahlia. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it, but for those who didn't, here's a not so short introduction. I won't go too much into details, but I will point out some of the relevant pieces of information. Elizabeth Short was an aspiring actress even though she had no known acting credits or jobs during her time in Los Angeles. On January 9, 1947, Short returned to her home in Los Angeles after a brief trip to San Diego with Robert Red Manley, a 25-year-old married salesman she had been dating. Manley stated that he dropped Short off at the Biltmore Hotel located at 506 South Grand Avenue in downtown Los Angeles, and that Short was to meet her sister, who was visiting from Boston that afternoon. By some accounts, staff of the Biltmore recalled having seen Short using the lobby telephone. Shortly after, she was allegedly seen by patrons of the Crown Grill Cocktail Lounge at 754 South Olive Street, which was approximately 0.4 miles or 0.64 kilometer from the Biltmore Hotel. On the morning of January 15, 1947, Short's naked body was found severed into two pieces on a vacant lot on the west side of South Norton Avenue, midway between Coliseum Street and West 39th Street in Leimert Park, Los Angeles. At the time, the neighborhood was largely underdeveloped. Local resident Bettie discovered the body at approximately 10 a.m. while walking with her 3-year-old daughter. Bersinger initially thought she had found a discarded store mannequin. When she realized it was a corpse, she rushed to a nearby house and called the police. Short's severely mutilated body was completely severed at the waist and drained of blood. Medical examiners determined that she had been dead for around 10 hours prior to the discovery, leaving her time of death either sometime during the evening of January 14th or the early morning hours of January 15th. The body had apparently been washed by the killer. Short's face had been slashed from the corners of her mouth to her ears, creating an effect known as the Glasgow smile. She had several cuts on her thigh and breasts, where entire portion of her flesh had been sliced away. The lower half of her body was positioned a foot away from the upper, and her intestines had been tucked neatly beneath her butt. The corpse had been posed with her hands over her head, her elbows bent at right angles, and her legs spread apart. Upon the discovery, a crowd of both passerby and reporters began to gather. Los Angeles Herald-Express reporter Angie Underwood was among the first to arrive at the scene and took several photos of the corpse and crime scene. Near the body, detectives located a heel print on the ground surrounded by tire tracks, and a cement stack containing watery blood was also found nearby. Black Dahlia was given to her after she had passed away by some customers at a drugstore in Long Beach, California. The term may have originated from a film noir murder mystery, The Blue Dahlia, released in April 1946. An autopsy of Short's body was performed on January 16, 1947, by Frederick Newbar, the Los Angeles County coroner. Newbar's autopsy report stated that Short was 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighed about 115 pounds, and had light blue eyes, brown hair, and badly decayed teeth. There were ligature marks on her ankle, wrists, and neck, and an irregular laceration with superficial tissue loss on her right breast. Newbar also noted superficial lacerations on the right forearm, upper left arm, and the lower left side of the chest. The body had been cut completely in half by a technique taught in the 1930s called a hemicorporectomy. The lower half of her body had been removed by transecting the lumbar spine between the second and third lumbar vertebra, thus severing the intestine at the duodenum. Huber's report noted very little bruising along the incision line, suggesting it had been performed after death, indicating that somebody with medical experiences had done it. The skull was not fractured, but there was bruising noted on the front and right side of her scalp. The cause of death was determined to be hemorrhaging from the laceration to her face and the shock from blows to the head and face. Huber suggested that she may have been raped. Samples were taken from her body, testing for the presence of sperm, but the results came back negative. There had been a few suspects, but they eventually led to nowhere due to mishandling of evidence. By the spring of 1947, Short's murder had become a cold case with few new leads. Sergeant Finisbrown, one of the lead detectives on the case, blamed the press for compromising the investigation through reporters' probing of details and unverified reporting. On September 1949, a grand jury convened to discuss inadequacy in the LAPD's homicide unit based on their failure to solve numerous murders, especially those of women and children in the past several years, Short's being one of them. In the aftermath of the grand jury, further investigation was done on Short's past, with detectives tracing her movements between Massachusetts, California, and Florida, and also interviewed people who knew her in Texas and New Orleans. However, the interviews yielded no useful information of the murder. I picked up this case because I used to watch this show called American Horror Story, and the first season had a woman who represented the Black Dahlia. At that time, I didn't know about it, but it was interesting enough for me to look and research on it.
I first heard about this case after a movie came out that was called Black Dahlia, and I'm thinking the movie was based on this story. I never watched the movie, but that poster was interesting enough for me, so I then looked up the story on Wikipedia.
I have never seen the movie, actually.
Yeah, all I remember is Scarlett Johansson is there, but that's about it. I never watched the movie or...
I didn't know they had a movie.
To be honest, it's one of the most gruesome and really horrifying murder story I have ever heard of. Is there any connection between this case and the Blue Dahlia movie?
I don't think so. I don't think she was murdered the same way. The way they found the body was terrifying for anybody. Even the woman who found her, right? And she was with her 3-year-old daughter. It must have been traumatizing.
Yeah, especially, not just because the kid was 3-year-old. Yes, that is partly the reason. But I think for anybody, it doesn't matter what your age is. I have honestly never heard of a dead body that has been so
severely discarded,
mutilated.
Since she was an actress, but she wasn't a known actress. The only reason she got famous is because she was found that way.
No dead body should ever be disrespected in this way. What I want to know is, while we know that she has been murdered about 10 hours before, but was the killer prepared for this? Because the dead body, as we know, was found in a very horrible manner. So that the killer must have prepared all the things he needed to mutilate the dead body. And we'll probably never know why the killer chose her, if they knew each other or not, or if he targeted her for any specific reason. But to me, it seems like, 10 hours is really a short time for all the things he did to her body.
But we so far can understand the way the body was found, that the killer must have some kind of medical background.
Which, to me at least, it shows that he has been planning this murder. Why go through all this trouble to do all these things to this body? I can't decide between whether I feel the killer is someone who belongs to a cult and did killed her as part of a sacrifice, or someone who was a very level-headed, cold-blooded person who just did it because he likes this kind of thing.
What if it wasn't cold-blooded and they just panicked?
The dead body seemed to have been found in such a meticulous way. Everything seemed so organized the way it was found. You know, all the way the body was in certain positions, the way the blood has been taken out, the way intestines have been placed in certain places. This just, at least to me, it seems like this has been well planned before the body was discovered.
This is an unsolved case. There had been a few suspects, but it led to nowhere.
I wish they had been able to solve this case. But, you know, blaming the media or the paparazzi for tampering with this case, for tampering with the outcome of this case, it just seems silly. I mean, a whole homicide department, they couldn't handle evidence properly, and why not?
Just because they're incapable of solving a case, they're just pointing fingers at somebody else. There had been some cases of women and children being murdered.
Yeah, which is why I really wish they had been able to solve this and not turn it into a sensation later on.
Thank you so much for watching and listening to this video. And thank you, Moon, for joining me today.
It has been a pleasure.
If you guys liked this drawing and you would like to see the finished piece, please check out my Instagram, and if you like the finished piece enough to purchase it for a small price, you can head to my Etsy shop. The links will be in the description below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Comment down below which true crime or supernatural case you would like to see next. Or if you have a story of your own you would like to share, you can send them to me to my email or my Instagram. Please subscribe for more videos like this, and if you're already subscribed, click the bell to be notified in the future. Now, as for the giveaway, I will be giving away last 4 of my illustrations, including this one, in full resolution. There will be 3 lucky winners, and I will be choosing the winners at random. To enter this giveaway, please ensure you are subscribed to this channel and are also following me on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and type your Instagram handle in the comment section down below. I will announce the winners next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.